When starting my Forever World, I spent days searching for the perfect seed. After literally hundreds of attempts, I had found something I was happy with. This is where I would build my base. Ever since that time, 4 years ago, I've been slowly adding more and more to the mountains, and whilst I love building here, occasionally I do need a break. Now, I'm no stranger to building elsewhere in my world. I've got many projects dotted all over the place. But the thing is, they usually have a reason for being built where they are. For example, my mob farm pyramid is built in the desert for better drop rates. My Firewatch tower is in a taiga biome because that just makes more sense than it being in the snowy mountains. My guardian farm / ocean monument is in the ocean because, well, that's kind of where it has to be. You get the idea. Almost everything has a reason for being where it is. Almost everything. Every now and again, I like to build something completely on its own, just for the fun of it. It's got no purpose, it serves no function, it need not exist. And that is exactly why it's so enjoyable to do. There is something creatively freeing about building something in this game that really has no purpose, a purely aesthetic build. It feels like you go back to the real essence of what this game is meant to be, you know, the sandbox of it all. So what I did before starting any of this episode was go out in search of some cool looking terrain that would get the inspiration flowing. I needed something far enough away so it could have that feeling of solitude, but close enough so it didn't need me to fly tens of thousands of blocks to get there. In the end, I stumbled upon this, a perfectly shaped stony peaks biome surrounding an entire forest. It looks awesome, and I knew as soon as I saw this, I just had to build something here. The only issue is, the trees are a little bit in the way right now. That is a lot of logs, and I do need oak logs for today, just probably not quite that many. Either way, we have entirely deforested this whole space, and it is looking so much cleaner already. I'm not sure why, but I do just really like walking around this area. I think being surrounded by the mountains just makes me feel kind of safe and secure. I feel like nothing can get to me up here. Even though that is not the case at all. There are open caves everywhere, the terrain is a mess, and obviously the second it turns to nighttime, stuff is spawning everywhere up here. Now, I can't do anything about the nighttime spawning just yet, but I can cover up the caves with some extra grass blocks and in the process make the whole area just a little bit smoother and nicer to build upon. This is gonna make such a cool entranceway to what we're building here. Just this miniature, like, canyon almost, ravine sort of thing, and it just totally opens up into these nice flat grasslands that we've now got. You're probably wondering what we're actually going to be making today, unless you've seen it in the title and thumbnail, which is probable, but in case you haven't, we're going to make a village in the mountain here. They're one of my favourite things to make in this game, and even though I've done it so many times before, I do really enjoy myself every single time I make something like this. And I just think a cozy farming settlement is going to be perfect for the location that we've got. Eventually, we'll be turning all of these deep slate walls into crop fields of some kind. They're a little bit unfinished at the moment because they're going to be connected to some houses, which is why there's big gaps in them for right now. You should be able to see where all of the houses and other buildings are going to be going, pretty much at the end of all of the pathways where they just kind of come to a complete stop. So right here, for example, there's going to be a house. I know, this isn't one of the most revolutionary block palettes in the world, spruce and deep slate. They're overused a little bit maybe, but for good reason. They look good together. So this is how most of the houses are going to be looking. We've got these blocks for the walls, the deep slate blocks for the roof, and then a bunch of accoutrements dotted around the rest of the build. Again, it's pretty simple, but I think it works really well, especially in the setting we have up here in the mountains. There we go, looking a little bit more like a village now. We've got 6 new houses actually, the 5 you've just seen built, as well as an extra one down there by the entranceway. I have also finished all of the interiors for them. I'm really not that great at interiors, but as long as they look like somebody lives here, I'm happy. We've got a bunch of different sized homes, so I figured there should be some different sized families. For example, this one here is for a family of 4. We got the double bed for mum and dad and a bunk bed for the kids. This house, as you come into the village, is a lovely 2-bed, and by that I mean it has 2 beds, that's it. It's just one big room. And then this house up on the hill here is just a single bed, which I'm imagining is owned by the lonely farmer, or one of the many farmers of this village. He's not very social. He likes to keep to himself. Well, as much as he can in this tiny little commune. There we go. That should make things a little clearer. With one small exception. Now obviously when you're building a village, you can't just have houses. There's got to be some other buildings that serve another kind of function. So these are basically meant to be storage buildings. Any sort of equipment that the farmers are going to need is inside of here. We've got a wheelbarrow, some very carefully stacked pots, some clothing racks which are missing the clothing, but I'll go back and get some leather later, and beer, I guess. I don't know, they're meant to just barrels with taps on the end. Farmers got to relax somehow. These buildings are a little bit more dilapidated and run down than the houses themselves, which I think makes sense. You're more likely to refurbish and keep up to date with maintenance on your house where you live as opposed to just a storage shed. But that doesn't mean it's ugly, just adds character, and I'm a big fan of the block palette too. Maybe even more than the houses themselves. I think it just is very well suited to what we're using it for. Now one pretty important thing that we're missing at the moment is the fields. They're a bit empty at the moment. We've got 5 field allotments in total, which is great. That means we can have a wheat field, we can have a carrot field, as well as a potato field, and of course a beetroot field. But now we're left with 1 extra, and I'm kind of out of crops. So instead, I think we're going to go with sweet berries. Now you could plant anything in Minecraft and just pretend it's something else. For example, crimson roots could be saffron, oxeye daisies could be chamomile, chorus fruit could be dragon fruit, netherwort could just be some kind of fungi. And sweet berries, well, they look like berries. And I think that would be perfect for up here in the mountains. I feel like berries would be something that would actually be growing around here. The only issue is I don't have any, or not enough for an entire field's worth. So let's take a quick trip back to the base. Where we can come over here, fly through the waterfall to this thing that we revamped in the last episode, our micro farm room, which is going to be the perfect spot to make some berries. Oh, better shut the door. So pretty simply, if we just place a barrel, a hopper, some mud, a dispenser, a block, an observer, 2 redstone up there, tough stair, tough stair, tough stair, tough stair, and then just a few more blocks to cover it up, and lastly, of course, the berry. We have ourselves near infinite berries. Well, so long as I've got the bone meal for it. Okay, yeah, I'm gonna say that that is enough berries. So we'll take all of these with us and head back over to the village and plant these suckers. I think these look pretty good. The rooted and coarse dirt definitely help, and it's not the safest thing in the world to walk around in, but it looks good, and that's the main thing really. So whilst these berries and the rest of the crops continue to grow, we are going to continue building. And we've actually only got one final main building to do, and it's right at the end of this pathway. Here we have ourselves a nice little barn. Same sort of block palette as the two storage buildings, just a little bit more barn shaped, I would say. Got a cool pulley system round the back here, just to kind of get the hay into the hayloft is what I'm imagining. And I am loving the barn door. I think the combo of the shelves plus the trap doors just makes it a bit thicker, and all of these look like 10 little bolts or screws. It looks good. I still can't get enough of the shelves. I love them. And as for the inside, downstairs we got some room for some animals, most likely horses, which we'll get a little bit later, and upstairs, as I mentioned a second ago, is just the hayloft. So we've got hay bales up here. As well as a lovely view of our village, which still looks incredibly unfinished, despite all of the crops now being at full length. And I think a lot of that has to do with the fact we're missing the smaller builds. It's all well and good having houses and large buildings like a barn, but you need the little details. That's what really brings a village together. I'm talking various sizes of carts and plenty of wagons, a nice seating area for the villagers to hang out at, a water well, a water tower, and of course, plenty of silos. I also made a slight change to all of the pathways around the village, just by adding some coarse and rooted dirt going up the sides of them. I think that, paired alongside all of the additional builds we've now got, makes the whole village look a little bit more finished now. We have got quite a bit of open space just outside of the barn here, and I don't want to put anything too big because it's going to kind of block the view. So instead we're going to do this, this, and this. As for what these three fence posts are, we'll come back to that in a second. It's going to be something else, don't worry. The next step is to place some more of this, short grass. We have a lot of flat, open grass blocks at the moment, which just look a little barren, really. Now, last time I did this with the Flower Forest Village, it turned out great, so hopefully we have the same effect here. It always shocks me just how much better a build can look by adding in the short grass. Like, that's all I've done around here. It's nothing but this. No ferns, no tall grass, no bushes, just short grass. I love it. And in case you're wondering why I didn't just bone mill everywhere instead of hand placing all of this down, because you're right, it would have been a lot quicker, you've just got way more control placing it one at a time. And also, there's no flowers, which wouldn't have had quite the same effect as just the grass does. I'm hoping maybe these fence posts are now a little bit more obvious as to what we might be having over here, given the fact there's not much grass in a rough circle around each fence post. To really tie it all together, we need to find ourselves a horse. My friend, you will do nicely as horse number 1. Here you go, chew on this. Yeah, good stuff. Okay, let's go, buddy. Oh, you're pretty slow. Thankfully, that doesn't actually matter. We're not really going to be riding him. I'm sure you've figured it out by now, but in case you haven't, then these are not just any fence post, they are hitching posts. Hence, as the horse is very well demonstrating right now, the circle around of no grass, because they have eaten it all. We do need at least 2 more though, and maybe a couple more to go in the barn itself. Okay, there is horse number 2, horse number 3, and you know what? I kind of want to get a donkey, as well as a mule, just for something a little bit different. Need to go to bed first though, and then search for one in the morning. Haven't seen one nearby, so it could be a bit of a walk. Well, that didn't take long at all. Just a short flight over and we've got ourselves 2 donkeys. I only need 1 though, so sorry. That one over there has been left behind. Oh boy. And I thought the other horse was slow. This guy has a snail's pace. Or a donkey's pace, actually, would maybe be better. Well, that took a little while, but we made it back. So let's hop up a view. Just grab the saddle a second. You can have a golden carrot, and you can have a golden carrot. Now make a mule. Excuse me. Where is he? Oh, look at him. He's so cute. Oh, okay, I didn't bring enough leads. Hang on a second. Everybody hold still. Okay, I need you off. I need you on. Now I need another lead. Who's going in the shelter? You can. Thank you. Donkey, if you could go over here. Oh wait, I need another lead to get these guys inside. Never mind, we'll do it the old-fashioned way with the power of carrots. Keep on coming, guys. Whoa! Oh my, they're excited. They're really excited. Okay, I just want one of you in here. Push, push, push. There we go. And you come this way, buddy. There we go. Nice. Good job, everyone. Yeah, I'm still not in the tiny takeover. Or even the update before that. I'm a bit behind. But he looks very cute nonetheless. But with the horses now in place, the 3 out here and the 2 in the stable, I am happy to call this village complete. It has been very fun just kind of taking a step back away from the base, going somewhere completely new in my world where I don't have anything built in the slightest, and making something like this from scratch. I'd say I'm feeling rejuvenated and ready to do some more work back at the base. Or maybe I'll go somewhere else. I'm not sure. We'll wait and see till next time. But thank you all so much for watching. I really hope you did enjoy. And I will see you in the next one. Bye for now.